Hello and welcome to this video and to Alicante, Spain. We are currently on holiday, so we arrived yesterday, so I did film a little bit about the flight. It's actually a main road here, but Pete's putting Eloise to bed, so we're going to have to cope with it. We flew Ryanair from East Midlands, which is a very small airport but very easy to do, and Eloise was great on the flight. We had a bit of turbulence in the last 20 minutes, which actually caused the woman in front of us to throw up, which wasn't so pleasant. Eloise, on the other hand, was giggling and shouting more bouncy clouds and all of that, so she was absolutely fine. I've taken a few clips which I'll add in now, just of some of the stuff that we did to occupy her through the flight. So books, we bought the little paint Gruffalo thing, the iPad, all that kind of stuff. But here are the little clips that we have for that one. So then we got to Alicante Airport. We've basically been umming and ahhing about several options. We had a car booked, but then you needed a credit card, and at the moment neither Pete or I have a credit card, so we had to cancel that. We were going to get a taxi, but then didn't book that in time, so we ended up on the public transport, which was fine and was the cheapest option. So you do get the bus C6 into Alicante town, like the city centre part. We're actually quite a bit outside that. We're a good 20-25 minutes outside that. But if you are doing that, you follow the signpost for public bus, and then there are several bus stops and the place name is on it, so don't think about the number, think about where you're going is the best way of doing that. So we got on that one, and then we had to change buses to get to our Airbnb. I haven't as of yet filmed a tour, but I will, and when I have, I will add that in now. Right, so I thought, well, they've just gone out to get breakfast, I will give you the apartment tour, but please excuse the mess because we are almost to the end of our stay and we've definitely made ourselves at home. We are not tidy people on holiday, we don't unpack and all of that kind of stuff. So starting at the front door with the obscenely loud lock, you have the kitchen to the right. So this is fully stocked. It came with bin bags and things under here. So all the things you need for washing out. Plates and all of that are in there. Glasses in that one. Cutlery. All the saucepans and stuff that you need. Oven. Toddler likes to play with those, which is a pain. Microwave, and then in here you've got coffee, kettle, toaster, all of that. Some oils, and up here you've got sort of staples as well, like sugars and whatever, some tea, and then fridge and freezer. There is also this little utility thing. We've tried to avoid coming in here. The door is a bit broke, but you know, dustpan and brush. There are some beach toys, washing machine, all of that. So then if you come back through the kitchen, we'll come back to that one. It's all a bit dark because we keep it dark to try and keep it cool. So this is where Eloise has been staying. So they put up a cot for us, but there is a single bed and then there's a bed underneath. We'll say these curtains are absolutely pants. They block no light, so we brought our own blackout blind. I brought that just in case. I don't know, I had a feeling. Which still doesn't make it particularly dark in here, but darker for her to have a nap and things. Chest of drawers, and then wardrobe for there. Next door to the bedrooms is the bathroom, so as you'd expect. A lot of the stuff on the top was left here, so they have tampons, I don't know if they always will, but like shampoos and stuff, obviously we've got it, but it's got a hairdryer and then sink and then the shower. It is sort of leaking, so I will message the Airbnb host at the end of our stay to just say, you do know the top of your shower's leaking, and the hot water is a little bit hit and miss, we found. It's almost like the tank isn't big enough to have 2 showers, so if there were more, like there's 2 adults and Eloise isn't showering, and if she is, she's coming in with us, so we're finding it a bit hard. As I said, we've been staying here, so we've been in the bed. But yeah, this is the main bedroom. I find the mattress very comfortable. Some people would find it quite hard. You do have 2 like swinging bedside tables, which are a bit strange. And then there's plugs and stuff all around. There's a little desk, and again, full-sized wardrobe in that one, and some hooks up here. There is also a TV, which we haven't touched. Don't know whether they've got a TV in here. Hallway, big mirror there, which is quite helpful. Obviously you can keep your shoes. And then you come into the lounge, so there's a small table. You can pull up the chair from in the main bedroom to put that. So we've been eating our light food there, obviously, because that's what you do at a table. We found here's quite a good space with the pram, and then these are just bits and bobs. I think this turns into a sofa bed, so there's that. It's also reasonably comfortable. Coffee table, and then you've got the unit under the TV as well, which you can get your own Netflix onto that one. Just remember to log out, because the person before us didn't, and they were in like Polish or whatever. And then you come to the balcony, which has a small seating area, some space to hang swimwear and stuff, and then it is quite a loud road, view with the sea and the pool below. So all in all, it's been a comfortable stay. I know I'm probably putting this in at the beginning of the video, but we've been here for, well, we've got today and tomorrow. We've got 2 days left. So it's been a comfortable stay. We are probably about 20-25 minutes out of main Alicante. So you can get the bus or the tram in, which is easy enough, even with the pram. And there's like a kids park, it's a very small kids park, like 5 minutes away, that we went to yesterday, and like beaches and things. Actual sandy beaches about half an hour that way, or you go into Alicante for that one. But I will add the link for this apartment down below in case you're interested in it. As I say, it's worked out quite well for us. It might have been slightly helpful to be a little bit closer to where we've mainly been going, which is main Alicante, just because by the time we get Eloise back for a nap after our morning out, we're getting on to like 2:30, 3 o'clock, which is a bit late for her, but we've been managing it. So yeah, that is the apartment, and as I say, apologies for the fact that it's very lived in at the moment. Yeah, so that is our travel. Obviously it has its stresses. Even when it was just me and Pete, there was always a stress about travelling, and sometimes fraught words and things like that, but it is just sort of heightened when you have a toddler, particularly a toddler who hasn't slept that day. So yeah, she didn't have a nap, so when we got here we just went and got a pizza and did that. Right, on to today. We went to the supermarket. I have got this, so you can see that now. So we went to the supermarket. I felt a bit awkward filming in there, so all I got was the fact that they have hanging legs of pork. So there you go. That is all it. We picked up just some bits and bobs for like lunch stuff to keep us going. But the supermarket is literally like a minute from our Airbnb, so we can easily go and pick some more stuff up if we need it. So yeah, but we can finally have some breakfast. I'm very hungry. We haven't eaten yet, and it's about 10 o'clock. So suppose the one thing is the supermarket doesn't open till 9.
It's a very clean supermarket.
It's clean.
Very well laid out.
It's also very Spanish. There is
Big.
little to no English spoken by anybody, I think. So yeah, right, let's empty the bottom of the pram and have some breakfast. And then we might head off to a beach this morning. We did then end up going to the beach. We went to like this little inlet, which was about a 15-minute walk from our Airbnb. It wasn't shingle rocks, but it was rocky. So we could sit there, we had a look at the sea. We went and looked at some crabs and that kind of thing, which was nice. And then came back here, Eloise had a nap, and then we went into the which was kind of cold. I'm trying to build her confidence to be on her own. It's so we have, as you can see, hanging up like a puddle jumper thing. She's so with it at the moment. She's not overly keen on it, so we'll get there. I assume we'll be in the pool more than once this day, so we've got that too. And then we've just been out for dinner. So we walked to San Juan Beach, I think it is, because there's lots of restaurants there, although being in Spain it means that they will open their kitchens late or have shut their kitchens from the lunchtime stuff. So we found it a little bit difficult to actually find someone serving food, which means that it is 9 o'clock and we're only just putting our child to bed. Our child, who normally goes to bed at 7:30, so. But she's been great. The old little thing where she's like throwing something off the table, but that's just standard for Eloise. If anyone knows how to stop a child doing that, let me know. It has been a day of getting ourselves sort of back into this. I wouldn't say holiday mode is completely set, although I did have a pina colada with my dinner, so that felt good, and I shared an ice cream with Eloise. So there are definitely elements of holiday, but not quite yet. I will say, because we went to Mallorca last year, and I'll add those videos up here if you're interested, that holiday felt easier than this one has so far. We are only one day in, but we stayed in a hotel. We were in a very tourist area, like the restaurants were easy walk and they were open. Things like the marine park were very easy to get to. When I was doing research for here, a lot of the stuff that like we'd all enjoy, like the zoo, and I found like a pink lake with flamingos and some waterfalls and stuff like that. They're all like much further out and difficult to get to on public transport, which is another reason why we were going to get a car, but obviously that didn't work. So although there is plenty of stuff to do in Alicante, and that is our plan for tomorrow, is to go into town proper, it has caused a little more work, I'd say, to find stuff, and I'm not convinced the stuff I have found is particularly Eloise friendly, but we'll go with it and see what happens. But yeah, I've realised I hadn't started the video, despite the fact that I said I was going to be better at vlogging, and I haven't been, but figured do it now while Pete's putting her to bed, and then we can try again tomorrow. Good morning and welcome to another day. There's the rest of the family. We are going to go and pick up some more pastries from the supermarket, then get on the tram, and we're going to go to Santa Barbara Castle today, and then hopefully find some tapas. That noise is the extreme lock we have on this Airbnb. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Let's see if I actually vlog. So we came on the tram, we did the thing. We're now walking to the castle. There is a lift, but somebody didn't direct us to the lift.
quite a long walk. 18 minutes or an hour.
18 minutes uphill with the toddler? I don't think that's the case. So yeah, this is our current view. We haven't come very far. We've done some racing, we've seen a sort of ladybird thing, and now Eloise is trying to climb on the pram, so that basically she wants a buggy board, but we don't have a buggy board. And she keeps locking it, so we can't move. But yeah, so we're potentially going to make it to a castle at some point this evening. So yeah, I think that's where we're heading. So this is the other way to walk down, I think. So the castle's up there, and then we've just followed this track downhill. I reckon it'd be kind of steep if you were coming up, but it's alright going down. It's also very smooth for a pram or a wheelchair, but I would say when you're in the castle, it's very rocky, so for us with the pram, it was alright. I'd say if you were in a wheelchair, it would probably be a bit more difficult to get about the actual castle. And we appear to have landed in a park. So that's nice. But we are now going to head off to hopefully some place for some foods. We decided we're going to have our main meal at lunchtime today after the fiasco of yesterday. And hopefully this works better. But it's definitely warmer here today than it was yesterday. And I think it's going to remain at this temperature roughly for the rest of the week. So we're about, I think, 27 today. So I think it's supposed to be 27, 26 for the rest of the holiday. Which is nice, makes me feel like I'm on holiday, so that's good. So yeah, right, let's keep walking and make our way hopefully to some food. Good morning and welcome to another day. So we went to the castle as you saw, and then I didn't come back to you at all. So we had food. Eloise was a little bit strange in it, she didn't really eat much, but that was to be expected. And then we came back here, she had a nap, and we then went swimming. In fact, we're trying to get her to do a little bit more independent swimming, so I'll put that in now for you. She did well. I mean, we literally only started this late yesterday, so.
Right, we can swim to me. That's it. On your belly, remember? Kick. On your belly, kick.
Yeah.
Well done.
And then last night, because we weren't going out anywhere, we managed to get Netflix on the TV here, and then we watched Flow, which I think won the animated Oscar last year or the year before. I wasn't a fan of the animation style, but Eloise enjoyed it and watched it all. It was her first film that she's watched all the way through. So yeah, and then today we are heading back into Alicante. So we need to get the tram again today, but we're going to sort of the marina part of it this time, and we will go to the Great Ocean Race Museum.
Yeah.
It's free, that's why we're going. Apparently it's quite interactive. I know nothing about the Great Ocean Race other than it's an around the world race. Sorry about the water and the banging. So yeah, we're going to do that, and then we'll have some food, and then we'll come back and do a similar thing to what we did yesterday.
Singing as she goes.
Looks like we've got a P&O cruise ship with us as well. Lots of Brits today. And then the museum. Not that I had any thought of doing an around the world boat race, but they sleep on shifts of 2 to 4 hours. That's definitely not for me. And food is freeze dried.
A big boat.
You saw a big boat?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think boat life is for me.
Big.
That's a big trophy. I think my family are under here somewhere. Oh, she made it out. There he is. Some very casual sailing over here. So, they're now cutting trees. So that museum was interesting. Like, I obviously didn't know anything about the race at all. And like, there's no way, I mean, I knew I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway, but there's no way I'd be able to do it. They go for ages. There's obviously legs to it. But it's a lot of miles on a small boat with not a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Luxuries, I suppose. However, I wouldn't say it was interactive as it makes it out to be. Certainly not for a toddler, which is what I was hoping. There were buttons for her to press and like a steering wheel for her to play with. But other than that, not a lot for her to do. I thought there'd be a bit more interactivity, I suppose. And it's also not the biggest thing. But it was good. It was interesting, I'd say. Me and Pete may have found that slightly more interesting if we'd gone pre-toddler. But there we go. Currently I'm sat by the marina because we've ordered some food. We're not being very Spanish today, we've got burgers, but we've got a nice view of the marina, and hopefully this goes better. But yeah, good day so far. She's done a lot of walking, she's looked at the fishes, she's got excited by the boats. So there's the P&O cruise ship and an MSC in, so she was quite excited at looking at those. Mummy's got nervous as she's got close to the water's edge. Yeah, all of that stuff. Hello and welcome to our penultimate day in Alicante, Spain. Today is going to be a bit more wing it, which I don't know how it's going to go with a toddler who likes to roam. But there are a few things on our list that we want to see, and today is just the day we're going to go and do it. We don't have like a specific point. So we want to go and see Mushroom Street, and I think she might like that, but what do I actually know of what she likes and what she doesn't like is another matter. And then we want to go to the Old Town part and to the Central Market. So we're going to see how we get on with that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everything will be fine. And then we'll probably get some food and do what we've done every other day. So yesterday after the museum and our food, which was really nice actually. So we had burgers and stuff, but they were really nice. Eloise had some like sausage, which she really liked. Just surprised because it was a bit more chorizo-y than sausagey, but she had a good old go at those and the chips and stuff. So And we had a show because they were cutting the palm trees. I think I said that before anyway. And that kept her very occupied, which was nice for us. So we actually had a really good dinner yesterday, lunch, whatever. Which we haven't necessarily had on the other ones. So yeah, we're going to see how it goes today. But yeah, after we came back, we managed to get her to have a nap. And instead of going swimming yesterday, I found a little park. It is very small, about 5 minutes away, and we went on there, so she got to play on the slide and things. And then came back, and we started watching Happy Feet. But I think it got her a bit overexcited, to be honest. So that one wasn't overly successful either, but we managed. So yeah, let's say today we're going to wing it. We're going to see how we get on, and as always, I will try and show you some things. So we've come to Old Town, see the buildings behind, and we found just around the park. So now Eloise is going to go down the slide. But yeah, buildings are kind of cool here. They're pretty and colourful. I like the green one. And here she comes. there you have it. That was our holiday to Alicante. So on the last day, as you've seen, we went to the beach. We went to, I think it's San Juan Beach. It was about a half-hour walk from our Airbnb. It's where we went for dinner on that first night. That didn't quite work, but we went there. Eloise loved playing on the beach. She really liked jumping the waves. She really liked building sandcastles. So I'm glad we actually had a morning at the beach, at a sandy beach that she enjoyed a lot. And then from there we went and had, I think it was Argentinian food at that point, and then, you know, came back, did what we did every other day. Went to the park, I think, in the afternoon after Eloise's nap, and did that kind of thing, packed up, got ourselves ready to go. So our flight was earlier in the morning. It was about 9:30, I think. So we got a taxi over to the airport this time, and that was fine. They had a car seat for Eloise. Obviously we booked it with a car seat, but it was all fine, and the flight was no issues at all. So yeah, and it also meant that we were then able to swing by my parents, pick up Jeff, we had a barbecue with them, and then came home, where I started the endless amount of washing. But it was a bank holiday, so we came back on the Saturday, which then meant we had Sunday and Monday to, you know, recover from the holiday, which worked out well. So thoughts on the trip. So we had a lovely time. We obviously made a lot of memories and that kind of stuff, which is what we wanted. I think I mentioned it earlier in the video, but I'm not sure. Well, where we were was a little bit out of it, and it was fine, it worked. We managed to use the tram and all of that kind of thing. It didn't have too much of an issue for us. But I think we would have benefited from having a car, because although what we did was fun, like the castle and the ocean museum and all of that kind of stuff, it was fun. The stuff that I think we would have enjoyed more was just that little bit further outside of where we were, and I couldn't work out how we'd get there on public transport. So like, there was a glass bottom boat that we could have gone on to another island, and I thought she would have liked seeing that, assuming that there were fishes and stuff, because she enjoyed watching the fishes at the marina, but we couldn't get there very easily. There were a few zoos that we could have gone to, but again we couldn't get to. If we had an older child, there was a water park and a theme park, but again difficult to get to without a car. There were other like day trips, but they were just too long with a toddler. They were like 8 hours, and we wouldn't have managed that with Eloise, to different spots and waterfalls and things like that. So it was good, it was a nice place to be. The food on the whole was good. Our Airbnb was nice, but I'm not sure it quite worked for where we are in our life at the moment with a 2-year-old. But hey, we made the most of it and we had a good time. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe, because we've got all sorts of things coming up, lots of trips and things like that. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!